Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys.
Hey everyone, welcome to my live stream. My name is Rev Trev and welcome to Kempner Canucks. Well, let's be completely honest, and that's part of my thing. I'm passionate, I'm realistic, and I'm honest. Tonight's going to be an honest take of our Vancouver Canucks, our beloved Canucks. It was a disappointing loss. Okay, let's just not try to candy coat this at all. This was super disappointing, and thank you so much for being here. I know on a night like tonight, you don't really want to show up. You don't really want to talk about the game, but come on, this is the thing about being a sports fan. You're in with their ups and downs and ever in between. A faithful fan sticks out true and true. Doesn't matter what happens. And I know we've had a lot of positive moments this year. So tonight's game was just really disappointing. And tonight we're going to talk about the game. We're going to talk about the Zadorov trade. And we're going to talk about whatever else you want tonight, because make sure you post it in the comments. I know a lot of you want to talk about the trade, but I want to get into the game first. And then we're going to get into the trade. I've got lots of awesome comments and thoughts about the trade, but I want to hear what you have to say too. But let's start with the game first, everyone. So post comments about the game. And just a reminder, it's under this button here. I want to remind you that if you like passionate, realistic, and honest Canucks content, hit that like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow the channel to 1,000 subscribers before Christmas. So you can follow me on Facebook, on YouTube, or on X, which is Twitter. So I'd appreciate that. Okay, let's dive into tonight's game. 4-1 Canucks. I had predicted that we were going to win 2-1. I was very optimistic and trying to be realistic at the same time. I thought it was going to be low scoring. I didn't realize that they were just going to be much, much better. So the big question we're answering tonight regarding the game is, Vegas are the champs, or just wasn't Vancouver's night? Vegas was the Stanley Cup champs, or just wasn't Vancouver's night? So post in the comments what you think here. And of course, thank you for following my stuff. So we're going to talk about Zadorov in a moment, but let's talk quickly about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And really, if we're honest, there was mostly bad and ugly, but there was some good. The reality is this, everyone. We were out-hit, we were outshot, and we were outscored. We were outplayed. We were out everything, okay? That's exactly what happened in this game. There was no time where I thought, we're going to win this game. There's not a moment where we're coming back. There was a moment where if we score another one, we got a shot, but I just knew that wasn't. So if we quickly run through this game, first period, and I picked Vegas to win the Stanley Cup, so I am not surprised that they came out and played good tonight. And this was not only was this a very, very important game to us, I think it was an important game for Vegas saying, hey, glad you're having a good season, but we're still the champs, right? And Barbashev and Eichel make it 2-0. I believe that the shots, if we go to the shots, I think it was 13 to 8 in the first period. There was not a lot to talk about from Vancouver's perspective there, was there, guys? I don't think there was a lot to talk about. But if we just go there right now, and we just look at these shots, like wow, that was nasty. Okay, so and when was the okay? So we'll talk about that there. Okay, so that's exactly what happened there. Let's go to the second period, and this is the one that I think is really just true. We got our butts kicked the entire second period. That's exactly what happened. But there was a moment in the game where it was really cool because Tyler Myers got the opportunity to be mic'd about the penalty he took. And so I want to ask you guys the questions. Myers, was it a penalty? Or what do you think? Well, that Myers penalty, what did you think? He was arguing that he came into him and that whole thing. But I would love to know what you had to think. The other thing I thought in the second period is forget Casper the Ghost, Petey the Ghost. I don't know. I don't know if tonight just highlighted it, but it felt like when there's like a whole bunch of things you're thinking, and then all of a sudden the dots connect. I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, what is it with Petty? I always say that. What is it with Petey that's bothering me? Not only is it the lack of shooting and the lack of scoring lately, but the lack of shooting really bothers me. He does not look the same. But here's the thing that kind of connected all the dots. He falls down every 5 seconds. Now, sometimes he's getting hit, but he's tripped. He falls down. And I feel like I'm kind of at the wit's end with Pettersson in that, like, just stand up. Now, I get he's smaller, but he's grown in size. So he's gotten stronger. He's gotten bigger. But it's still like, you look at a team like Vegas, it highlighted how brutally small he was. Okay, so we'll just dive into that in a moment. But that really annoyed me. And in that second period, if we just go back to that quickly, it's in the second period, Carlson scores on the power play. That was the Myers penalty, which obviously Myers was not happy about. And then and then now they're up 3-0. And then something strange happened in the third period. In the intermission, something happened, and Aiden Hill doesn't come out for the third, and Logan Thompson comes in, and he plays the rest of the game. Now, I was like, what's going on? What's happening to Aiden Hill? How come Logan Thompson's in there, right? Well, then all of a sudden, really quick, I'm thinking, okay, we need to score here. Next thing you know, they scored again on a real kind of fluky goal. Fourth goal literally just took the wind out of our sails. Now, here's the good news about the game. I don't know about you, but the Lafferty opportunity was inches away from scoring the greatest regular season goal, not go, sorry. Let me just change that. Goal in regular season history, okay? In regular season history. He was that close. He went through the entire Canucks history, the entire Vegas team, and got the shot off, and Thompson had the great change. Great save. Now, one thing I did love about the third period was Rick Tocchet made the line changes, and it went Kuzmenko, JT, and Brock. And then the next line was Lafferty, Petey, and Höglander. I loved seeing that. And when that happened, Kuzmenko got a nice pass from JT Miller, and Kuzmenko's goal was nice and definitely needed. I was very encouraged by that. The best line tonight by far was Joshua, Bluger, and Garland, and they didn't even score. It just showed how bad of a night we were. Okay, let's dive in to your comments, and then we'll dive into the Zadorov comments. And I won't talk about that yet, but we'll go there. Okay, so Curtis, welcome. What a tough first period. Demko played pretty sloppy in the first. Yeah, I mean, was it 45 shots, Curtis, that he faced tonight? It was absolutely insane, right? Like 44 shots tonight. But you're right, he did play a little sloppy. So I'm with you. Gary, I'm not even sure what to say about this game. Outshot, outplayed. Hey, that's exactly what I said. PD was horrible tonight, considering he wanted to play for a winning team. You think he might want to play like a winner, right? I understand the frustration. Japan 4, we got totally outclassed tonight. We have a lot of work to do if we want to compete with Vegas and the other contenders. In fact, we didn't look great against the Colorado Avalanche either. So that is definitely concerning if we want to be a legitimate team for sure. Gary Petey had been playing, like crap for the last few weeks. Have you? Yes, Japan. We've been saying that, man. That's it. Gary and I have been saying that. So in the streams, I think you missed a couple streams where we talked about that. It is possible as of last June, Hellebuck wanted off the Jets. That team lost first round in 5 games with no sign that team wanted to wait any time to play. Yeah, no. Yeah, David, that's fine. I think you guys are kind of getting offended by this comment that's actually true. Pettersson has not been the same for a lot of games, and I think there's an injury, but he's not shooting. He's a ghost of a player, guys. Like, he's not what he was, and I'm concerned, and I think Gary's seeing the same thing. So, October, he and Shai said, yeah, I know he's going to sign with us. There's no doubt about that. I just think that he's not playing that well. Only thing to take away from this game is changing things up. Putting Kuzi, Miller, and Besser tonight seemed like a good fit. I agree, Gary. Okay. Traded. Yeah. Good point, David. Good point. Like the Zedorov trade, did not like the effort tonight. Not good enough. I agree. Nanaimo shoe repair. Why are you telling me that? I don't care about anyone unless it's a Canuck. Ooh. I mean, I still think this is interesting. I don't mind. David, I'm glad you posted that. I don't know if you should have tagged Japan 4, but this took the wind out of my sails. Yeah, didn't it feel like that, Ryan? It just felt like that was disappointing. And boy, I really hope we don't play like that a lot this season, or it's going to be hard to watch this team, right? Kuzi looked good tonight. Yep. Something still off with Pettersson. Absolutely. Trading PD to get value or walks. Yeah, no, I know, dude. We got a lot to go here. No one's saying that Pettersson's walking. We're just saying that he's not playing well. And the question is, should he be getting paid what he wants to get paid? But what did you think about the Myers tripped while he was telling the refs? When Myers tripped when he was telling the refs. Yeah, I think I want to know what you guys think. I think the guy just fell. It wasn't Myers' fault, but it was frustrating. We need to get past Vegas in the playoffs. We got to make the playoffs first. They are the new dragon to be slayed. Yeah, even though Demko did struggle in the first, he did keep it from being a complete blowout. I couldn't imagine what the score would have been if DeSmith was in net, right? So, me too. That wasn't a trip. Yep. David, if Petey wants a big contract, we have expectations. Something's clearly wrong with Petey. If he's not injured, he really needs to figure it out and get out of this slump. 100% agree. Toymaker, welcome. The offense has dried up. I thought Vegas played good, but then again, we couldn't score against the Sharks and Ducks either. We still beat. We couldn't score against the Ducks, but we scored 3 goals. Against the Sharks, right? And the Ducks, we end up winning that game. We should have tied with the Sharks. Miller missing that top shelf at the end, but yes, I agree. It's a little concerning. Playing Vegas clearly shows our flaws and weaknesses big time. Personalized, welcome. Connor McDavid has the greatest goal in recent history, going through 4 New York Rangers players and their goalie. I agree, but Lafferty was up there, and I was talking about Canucks history, not NHL history. You saw that in the comment, right? Bure scored goals like the Lafferty attempt all the time. Did you forget? No, I have not forgotten, guys. I have not forgotten. Bure is my favorite player of all time. I would never forget that. I just feel like tonight, guys, let's just stay with what we're talking about here. Lafferty's goal, if he would have scored that, we would have talked about that for at least months, if not the whole year. That was something awesome and special. And I know that we lost. I think that's why a lot of people are poo-pooing this idea that it was incredible. Like literally inches away from scoring one of the best regular season goals in Canuck history. And I'm not saying it was the best. It was one of the best. I don't know. Maybe I did say that it was the best. I meant to say one of the best. So Pettersson is injured because like mid-first period, he was coming. Mid-first period, he was coming with speed. Offensive zone, tried to make a fast run and around telling me that his leg wasn't able to take that stress maybe. Interesting. Joshua Bluger Garland, best line. Joshua in the sin bin. Yeah, does that explain the Canucks night? Yeah, I think it does explain the Canucks night. If that's your best line, we're losing. That's just a fact. They don't get paid the big bucks to be the best line, and it sucks when they are. So Miller hasn't had himself a terrible game. Yeah, he wasn't himself, but he did still work, and he had the assist on the Kuzmenko goal. So I'm going to give him a pass tonight. Timemaker, way to ruin our Zadorov party, Vegas. Exactly. It feels like that. I don't see this as a failure. It's an opportunity to learn. Yep, I agree. We cannot wait until the third to wake up. It's like we needed the fourth goal to actually remember that we're playing hockey here. Yep, that's true. Ben Hutton was playing for the Knights. What? I know. I was thinking about that too, Nanaimo shoe repair. I was thinking this. How many times have we given up on a player and he's just went on to have a really long career, right? I just don't. It's so frustrating to watch. Like, oh, Ben Hutton, he's not good enough. He's not really an NHLer. And next thing you know, like, that was like 6 years ago. Like, that's what it feels. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't that long, but it feels like it was 6 years ago. And here he is. And he played with LA. And I mean, he's an NHL player, right? So, yeah. Chaos Giraffe had his usual game. Yeah, I mean, he was okay. Wasn't great. He was average. How do you tell? I don't think he was terrible, though. Honestly, I don't think he was terrible. How do you tell the difference between the Canucks and a night one team is feeling blue while the other is golden? That's true. It's true. Next time I'm on the island and need a show or sandal fixed, since he's here on Rev's YouTube, I'm going to Nanaimo Shoe Repair. And yeah, he's just down a few minutes from me. I should be going down and saying hello to him. But Vegas stops y'all in the neutral zone. Stops you in the neutral zone. If you get in the offensive zone, they clog the front of the net. It's hard to get shots. They forecheck well too. Yeah, they're the best in the league, in my opinion. So it's the new line changes that begin the shift in momentum. We were even toe-to-toe in the third, just initiated a bit too late. Yeah, so Jarvis, I want to ask you and everyone else the question tonight. What do you guys think about those line changes? And if that, should we be doing that going forward? Or should we just say we just got our butts kicked by Vegas, stick with what's working? So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get ready for this. Hit that like and subscribe button if you have not done so already. Yes, thank you for the appreciation. I appreciate it. Greatest goal in Canucks history. No, we're personalized. Brother, we're talking about regular season. Okay? Okay, had Lafferty scored on that, it would have energized the team, and I could and crowd, and I agree. Yes, absolutely. Sorry, some of these comments have nothing to do with tonight's game. Why? This is about the Canucks this season. Yeah. We dropped first of our first 4 tonight. 3 more come with Vegas. Let's see. Yep. Tyler Myers. All right, Tyler Myers. Let's go. PD tends to overthink things and then coming late to the show. Yep. What are we going to do about this guy? Tyler Myers? Nothing. There's nothing we can do. In fact, well, there is something we can do. First of all, you can hit the like and subscribe button right now, people. That would be great. But what we really need to do is let's go to this, because I want to talk about the Zadorov trade now. Zadorov, I just want, as a fan, as a YouTuber, as a Facebook person, as a social media influencer, welcome to the Vancouver Canucks. I am so excited that you're coming to our team. I am so pumped that we made this trade. I cannot believe that the Calgary Flames basically gave up absolutely nothing to trade him. People are mad because they're like, what? We gave up picks. You should not be mad about this. We gave up the 5th round pick that we just got for Bolivier in the deal with Chicago, and which is not probably going to pan out to anything. And we gave away a 3rd round pick in a number of years later. Congratulations, Calgary. You got better in 8 years from now. Wow. You guys, I just do not understand what Calgary's doing. That had to have been, they just I know my friends who are Flames fans are really frustrated that you didn't get more. My opinion is you wouldn't take this deal unless it's the best deal on the table. Unless you just want to, maybe you had some plans, you just needed to move out salary, and this is the best deal you could get right now. Maybe you have something in play that you want to do. You want to make a deal. You needed to move Zadorov's contract. All I know is I'm pumped that we're getting a 6'6" defenseman who can hit, who is a massive shot, had 14 goals last year, who is tough, who can drop the gloves. Now, does he turn the puck over a fair bit? Sure. Does he get a lot of penalty minutes? Absolutely, because he has to play on the edge. I think we need this kind of guy on our team. This is the kind of player we need, who's big, hits, is a physical presence. We need someone that puts a little bit of fear into the opponent. You're not going to just go run Pettersson. You're not just going to go run Kuzmenko. You're not just going to go run Höglander. What's going to happen is he's going to come, and it's going to be a freight train, and he's going to knock your block off, and then he's going to drop the gloves, and he's going to beat you into submission. That's the kind of guy Zadorov is. That's the kind of guy we need. I've been saying we need to get tougher, and tonight was a perfect example of that. We are missing Susie. We are missing Suter. We didn't have Zadorov yet, and I think those guys with their physicality helps us, and I like how they play. So I do think the Canucks are moving in the right direction. I'm pumped about this deal. I cannot believe that Calgary made this deal today. And his first game is going to be against Calgary coming up on Saturday night in Calgary. I don't think did he even fly to Vancouver yet? He's probably in Calgary right now, selling his place, getting all his stuff together, and figuring out what he's going to do in Vancouver. He's probably meeting Vancouver tomorrow in Calgary. And so I'm cool with that. I think that's interesting. But why would you trade him now? Why wouldn't you trade Zadorov after the weekend? Make him a healthy scratch. Make the deal after the game. Okay. He doesn't come in and play against you. And trade him Saturday night right after the game. Literally do that. Calgary, you guys could be the dumbest team. Now, if you make a trade in this weekend, I get it. Maybe there's something that I don't, but we're talking about it. I want to hear what the chat has to say. That is my awesome rant tonight. So, okay, YouTube, Zadorov hits. Wow, this guy can hit. My brother sent me the Zadorov hits, and yes, he can destroy people. It's awesome. 6'6", 248, steam engine, right? Okay. Dear Canucks GM, okay, I'm going to personalize I'm going with you here. Dear Canucks GM, your acquisition of Zadorov is a steal. Flames fans fuming. That could be a newspaper headline. However, Flames free up cap space while Canucks get a strong hitting D-man who plays. That's right. Is it a DeSmith game on Saturday? Would be a rough one, but with DeSmith being subpar in his last few, his next game could prove crucial in his return to a groove and be one of the most complete backups. Yeah, I'm not sure who they're going to go with. I would still go with Demko, to be honest. You want your stars to be playing on Saturday night. That's my personal opinion. Now, do we put Zad with Myers, or do we split up Hughes and Hronek? What if, guys, we put Hughes and Hronek on the top line. We put Juleson and Zadorov on the second, and then we do Cole And yeah, Cole and Myers on the third. What do you guys think about that? I think Friedman is the odd man out there. So Zadorov already ran Eichel once and knocked. Yeah, that's right, man. Like, he's a freight train. I love it. I wonder who's his pairing is, him and Cole, but then the double lefties. Yeah, I know this is where it gets frustrating, right? Tripzzz, the influencer. Yeah, I know. I thought you'd like that one, man. Go Canucks. Okay. Angelo, more help defense coming on the way now. Zadorov, we're pumped about that. I second that, Trev, the influencer. I was just trying to be funny, guys, but thank you for enjoying that. Zadorov can't come soon enough for Canucks team that in front of Demko, as ugly as all 4 goals he didn't allow were through defense under the bus against the Golden Vegas Knights in a 4-1 loss. Now, I don't think that Zadorov playing tonight would have made the difference in a win, but I do think he would have made the difference in the physicality, that we wouldn't have been able to push around as easy. So, yeah. And then, are we going to sit Myers? That's a good question. That's a really good question. I don't think we're going to, but I think that it's going to be pretty cool pretty soon. Jack Eichel looks like the king's son from Braveheart movie. Yeah, right? That's a good point. That's a really good point. So I'm pumped about Zadorov coming to Vancouver. I can't believe how little we paid for him. I thought we were going to have to give a player up for him. Now, I did put, and I don't know if you saw this on my Twitter, but and let me just quickly go to it here. But the Twitter universe saw me post this tonight, and I think you guys will like this. So I'm going to stop sharing this and start sharing this other one. You guys are going to like this. Sorry that's taking me so long, but I'm going to share screen and we're going to talk about Kempner Canucks. Okay, so here's my Twitter. Let's be real. Alvin and Rutherford are the trade masters. By the way, like, how many millions of trades have they done this season? It's been quite impressive. I know Canucks fans wanted Tanev, but I bet you would have been unhappy with the price tag of Tanev. Zadorov is a beast and knows how to hit. I'm excited to have him on the Canucks. His first game will be on Saturday versus the Flames. If you saw my 60-second video, everyone, of my YouTube short, go watch my YouTube short. I hope that Zadorov punches Calgary in the face. And someone commented, which I was blown away, that someone commented on this saying that we wanted him to, just play hard, but he doesn't need to take a cheap shot and get suspended. I'm not asking him to get suspended. You know how many people get punched in the face in a game? You don't have to take your glove off to do it. I just think it's funny that I said that, and a lot of people were like, whatever. Some people, right? Okay, okay. Saturday night, Demko will more than likely start due to the NHL market and ratings. Also, Demko is not to blame for tonight. Honestly, we had a very poor defense who could not clear pucks. Yeah, I mean, Demko did look shaky in that first period for sure, especially the first goal. I hear a second-round pick they wanted and a prospect. And Toymaker, that's why they couldn't get a deal done, right? And Vancouver's probably like, hey, we'll give you a third 3 years from now, or two. Yeah, it would be 3 years from now, 2 years from now, and a fifth next year. It's like, why did they agree to that, Toymaker? Like, are they the dumbest franchise? Zadorov. Ben, good to have you here. This is my brother. Love my brother. He's a huge Zadorov fan. We're huge Rocky fans. And, I was thinking about him, Ben, the other night, that he was – I was sitting there going, Zadorov reminded me of Drago from Rocky 3. Like, oh, man, I'm going to break you, or whatever he says. That's what he reminds me of. I mean, I watched an interview with him tonight. His hands are gigantuous. Like, he is amazing. He's going to be a fan favorite. And he was a fan favorite in Calgary, everyone. Like, I'm not joking with you. He was a lot of my Calgary friends' favorite player on the roster. Like, even though he's sometimes a third pairing guy, he is unbelievable. So Drago. I'm going to make a graphic, Ben, of Zadorov on Drago's head. So, or Drago's body. I mean, his head on his body. Should try to get Tanev too, but Flames are winning. No. Tanev's not going anywhere. They're going to try to re-sign him. They might, depending on where they, like, how they do for the rest of the season. You're right. They're winning. They might just say, you know what, we want to see what we can do here. But they needed to make a move. So Zadorov will play against Calgary on Saturday. Back to the future. Dude, that is so wild, right? Is it? Never mind Juleson. Welcome Zadorov. What? But think about it. Juleson's one of the only defensemen on our team that actually hits somebody. So Juleson and Zadorov, I'm liking that idea. A lot of these people are poo-pooing on Juleson. I think he's been decent. I mean, is he the best player? No. He's still young. He's big. He uses his body. I love how he's physical against the opponent. So he was a fan favorite in Calgary. It's definitely the hits. Of course it is. And the big slap shot for sure, right? Do you think we make one more play before the deadline? I don't know. It depends. Like, I could see us trading Garland, honestly. But I don't know what else we would do. Like, I don't think that we should be trading Höglander. I really, like, I think Höglander should be on this team for a significant period of time. So who else do they trade, right? Okay. But good question. Really good question. I feel like Tanev is more optimal than Zadorov. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But I'll tell you why I disagree with this. Yes, he's more optimal, but he is more physical, which might be more needed with the abilities that Tanev brings us. Just maybe have to limit the turnovers. Of course. And I think Foote and Gonchar are going to help him with that. I also think that Tanev is 34 years old and Zadorov is 28, and that makes a difference. Why go get a 34-year-old defenseman? I would not do that. I don't think that's good management. I think if you're just trying to win this year, I think that they might seriously consider trying to sign Zadorov next year, especially if he plays well for us. I hope he's a long, gets a 4-year deal with us at a reasonable price. I really, really hope that we keep him. I'd love for him to stay here. Calgary GM Craig Conroy on Zadorov trade. I know. After completing the swap, stress that the appeal is much more substantial, opens up our cap. Yep, I saw that. And basically said we got to stop a third pairing defenseman, they said too. So, I mean, okay, let's go back to that. That's a good point you raise. And what Craig raises, okay, it's a third line defenseman that opens up cap. Well, guess what? Beauvillier was a bottom 6 forward, and we traded him for a 5th-round pick and then moved him for a defenseman we needed more. We couldn't trade Beauvillier for Zadorov, so we had to do it the other way, and I'm very happy with that. Okay. Will we bring Irwin into action? The answer, I think, is no, but we will see. I would like to see it, though. Zadorov, steal of the year, unless he is poisoned in the dressing room, but Kuzi and Mikheyev can fix that, right? And I do think that's why he would want to re-sign here, is because of Kuzmenko and Mikheyev, and that we can have a good Russian connection there. I hope that he stays and they all stay and they all produce. Juleson is good. Well, I like Burrows too. They are similar. I think that Juleson's more physical than Burrows in the way of I think Burrows was physical, but he wasn't as, his body checks weren't as strong as Juleson's. But I do think that Juleson was a little bit better defensively, but he was also a lot older. So I'm with you there. Tanev has higher trade value, and with open cap in Calgary now, it can make that trade even more possible for a player in return to Calgary, and the Flames can afford that the Flames can afford, plus Hanifin. Yeah. I out of those 3 players, Hanifin, Tanev, and Lindholm, which one of those, or which ones re-sign with Calgary next year? It'll be interesting. I saw the other day on Facebook, if the playoffs was today, Canucks would face LA. That would be an awesome series. We haven't played them yet, so it'll be interesting to see how we do that. Toronto cocked now. I don't know. What does that mean? Did you see Tanev in slow motion while he blocked that shot into his face? Had to laugh. His eyes lit up like a deer in headlights. I did not see that. I need to see that now. Now that you bring up Villiers, I want to apologize. It was just rumors. That was why I tweeted when I mentioned was deleted. The person that has not tweeted since November 11th, Perry, was not in offer. Yeah, that Personalized came and talked to me and said that he had read on the internet that Corey Perry was offered for Villiers, and but that tweet was deleted. So I was actually going to do a video on it. I think it's really interesting because if he can get his life around, would we consider bringing a guy like Perry? But I feel bad for Perry in the way of there's so many things. Like, obviously he's battling the pressure of being an NHL player is really difficult. Let's just stop and just be honest about that. Like, they're real humans. A lot of these guys are young. I mean, Perry is an older player now, so I would consider him a man. Played a lot of NHL games, had a lot, but the pressure gets to people. And if you think about what happened with Cassian here in Vancouver, and he was a mess. He struggled. Vertanen struggled here as well. But that substance abuse stuff is nasty. What's awful is you combine all those brutal rumors that I just think are shameful that people would even consider and bring up there. But all of that combined, it's just absolutely ugly. So I hope Corey Perry the best. I hope that he not only does he get the help he needs, but he just recovers. And I hope the best for you, Corey. So I know that it doesn't matter coming from me, but from one human being to another, I just hope that you're okay. And I'm sorry that you're going through this. And I know that this is hard. This is hard for you, your family, organization. This is not the way you want to, possibly end your career or put a blimp in your career. Like, I think he's like 34 years old. It's been a long career. So good on him for making it this long in the NHL, but hopefully this doesn't take him out. So, yeah. Anyways, Garland in a second for Draisaitl. And then Nanaimo Schuber, one can only dream. The Oilers have picked it up again, won again tonight. They look dangerous again. Thankfully, we don't play them until like April again. So, Toymaker, I knew it was drugs or alcohol. I didn't know that. I was hoping it wasn't, but yeah, unfortunately it is. Yeah. So the 2 hits agrees. The 2 hits. Well, thanks everyone for coming tonight. I just want to remind you. I want to remind you guys about a few things. One thing that's really important to me is just that you guys know how much I appreciate you. I just appreciate like you coming into my streams to being a part of this. I know that tonight was a discouraging loss for all of us. We were hoping for more. We were hoping that we was at least going to be close so we could just kind of gauge ourselves. The fact is we're not good enough yet. We need to get better. And the good news as well is Zadorov's coming to Vancouver. So let's a couple more comments here. A Vancouver Canuck that many will remember who truly struggled but rose to be really good. An awesome individual is Finn. To think Finn had to deal with Kraken and fight for sharks to eat. Finn is good. Okay. Or Connor McDavid. Yeah, we're not trading for either one, right? Dante Fabro makes sense to the Canucks. Right shot defense and maybe Garland for a sweetener. I think that's like, I would personally love that trade. I love everything about that trade. But at the end of the day, he's a top 2 defenseman in Nashville. They're not giving him up for a sweetener and Garland. I'm telling you that right now. So, yeah. Anyways, thanks, Ben, for the show. Thanks for stopping by. I do want to just talk about one more thing before we go. If you haven't done already, please take the time, everyone, to hit that like and comment and subscribe. I try to do passionate content, right? That is realistic and honest. And please follow me on YouTube, X, and Facebook. So that's my night, and I'm so glad that you're here. But we're gonna call it a night. Canucks lose 4-1 to Vegas. Next game is on Saturday night, and I'm planning on streaming. And Zadorov's coming to Calgary, and I'm pumped. Have a great evening. Go Canucks. Go.